This is the Foxeer 6-inch frame that I got some time back, and I already built it, and I actually didn't make a build video of it. But I'd used older motors here, 2350 kV motors, and they're spinning 6-inch props. These are 6-inch DAL props, foldable, but the problem was that these are heating up, and there's also a problem with, I think, these two motors in the front, which causing a lot of vibrations. So what I'm going to do now is take this apart, walk you through the parts I've used in this, and also do the upgrade video where I'm going to be changing the motors and doing a bit of changes here, like I want to move the LEDs to the back rather than being in the front. So for the motors, what I'll be using are these Motor Velox 2306 1900 kV motors. These are 1950 kV motors, and I've got kind of blue colors to match the style of the frame. Stuff it comes with pretty long wires, which hopefully should, I think, let me run single cables all the way to the ESC, and it comes with very minimal stuff, lock nut and some screws too, and it also comes with a spare o-ring washer, and the nut that kind of goes here, and the o-ring goes in between the bell and the stator to prevent any hard crashes from it damaging the bearings inside. So they're fairly nice motors, if you can see it. They're really nice work, and what's also nice about these motors are, not apart from the o-ring that goes in between the bell and the stator, windings are really high temperature resistant windings, and more importantly, the bell is a single piece metal bell. So earlier, if you look at these bells had two parts. There was this, and there's the top, which kind of flush fits with the magnet base where the magnets fit in, and so over time these can come loose, and they also have this grippy base for gripping the props. So let's get on with it. Now that we've got the props off and the top off, I just wanted to run you through the electronics that I've used in this bird. I've used the SpeedyBee F405 flight stack. It's got the 405 flight controller on top, which has got Bluetooth access, and it's got a 4-in-1 50 amp electronic speed controller, or ESC, in the bottom that connects to the motors and the power lead. It's got a fairly easy layout, and it's very easy to kind of wire stuff. If you notice before, now I've got to remove this in order to access the solder joints, which are at the bottom here. Apart from that, I've used a Foxeer 1200 TV line Starlight nano cam. I've used the Maytech 8 LED strips in the front, so I have removed these because I need to pull the board out in order to desolder. I'm using, for the control link, the Radio Master RP1 receiver with a dipole antenna here, and I'm using the Voxnail WS M181 GPS nano GPS. And for the VTX, I'm using a very cheap VTX. I still haven't tested out the full range of this. It's the FPV Chaos 1200 milliwatt VTX, and it comes with this lead. That's pretty much it. I'm going to be removing the board in order to desolder the motors and then solder the new motors. Although I'll have to check on the lead length It just might be enough actually. I'll have to see if how well that goes. Yeah, I think it should be enough. Before removing the boards, you have to remember to remove all the electronics that are kind of like fixed and are connected to the board, because you just might accidentally yank it out and break the connection. So I've taken the LEDs out from the front and I'll move these to the back anyways, and I've removed the cam from the cam holder, and I'm going to start removing the FC. I am not going to be removing the VTX. I'm basically going to move everything there, solder in the wires and put it back again together and then test it out. Now I've taken this off from the rest of the frame, as you can see here, and what we're going to do is we're going to desolder these, but I've just kept it in the original orientation. There's the front of the quad, there's the back of the quad, and I am going to take the wires and solder them back here, but keeping in mind how these have been wired. So like if I put this here, the right wire here, the one on my right side, is basically going as a center lead, and the middle one is coming out on the side lead, just to make sure that I'm getting the motor spin directions right the first time, because these have already been tested out, they're spinning in the right direction, and I don't have to desolder them and flip them around or go through the SpeeDB app and spin them out. One last check with the FC mounted on top, and it's connected. Go to motors, turn on understand the risks, connect your battery. Now you can safely remove the smoke stopper, but don't dry fire them all the way, cause they're gonna, it's spinning this way, which is good. It's spinning this way, good. This is spinning inwards as well, good. And this is spinning inwards as well. So I'm going to give one dry fire. 3, 2, 1 for all 4. Oh, they're really smooth. There's absolutely no vibration on the board, which is brilliant. So the vibrations have pretty much gone, and that's fantastic news. I'm really happy with this. Last bits. Disconnect your battery first, and then from Betaflight, and pull out the USB-C connector, and you're good to go. Last bit. Brilliant, so it's done, all rock solid, and it's ready to fly. Thank you.